Despite the sweeping changes of modern times, Almaty has managed to preserve its historical soul. What began as a modest military outpost has grown into a sprawling metropolis. Yet, some landmarks still resonate with the echoes of history, reminding future generations of their roots. Among these stands the Voznesensk Cathedral, the Ascension Cathedral, a remarkable architectural treasure. Built entirely from wood, it is framed for its extraordinary durability, even surpassing that of stone. Until the Kazakhstan Hotel was erected in 1977, it was the tallest structure in the city. Today, this elegant cathedral remains an iconic centerpiece of Almaty's cityscape.
The
Voznesensk Cathedral is truly one of a kind. There is no other building like it anywhere in the world. It holds the distinction of being the tallest wooden Orthodox church globally. After Verny was granted city status in 1867, its political and cultural significance grew, highlighting the need for a spiritual center. In 1872, plans were made to build a new church with a capacity of 1,500 worshippers. However, construction was delayed for 3 decades. The preparations took a long time due to several challenges. The absence of a qualified architect and the mysterious disappearance of funds collected in the 1880s. The devastating earthquake of 1887 destroyed most buildings except for yurts. Following this disaster, the Semirechye regional authorities banned the construction of multi-story stone buildings. The earthquake completely destroyed the previous church. A temporary chapel was set up in what is now Panfilov Park for the Turkestan Eparchy's cathedral. Still, the people longed for a spacious and dignified place of worship. This dream was finally realized in the early 20th century, when the gifted military engineer Andrei Pavlovich Zinkov took on the challenge of building the cathedral. Although the decision to construct the cathedral was made in 1872, actual building work only began in 1904, just ahead of Verny's 50th anniversary celebration. For years, the question of who designed the cathedral remained uncertain. Now, conclusive evidence has emerged. The original blueprint personally drawn by Andrei Zinkov. We conducted extensive research in archives across Moscow, Tashkent, and Almaty. Eventually, I discovered a photograph of Zinkov's own design. This document is currently held in the state archives and confirms that Andrei Zinkov was the architect. At that time, He was the sole specialist with expertise in constructing buildings in seismic zones. His father, who worked during the 1887 earthquake in Almaty, passed on his knowledge to him. Therefore, there's no reason to doubt this. At first sight, it's difficult to believe the cathedral is entirely made of wood. Its imposing shape and ornate domes gives it the appearance of a grand stone church. The cathedral resembles a stone structure. Look at the columns that imitate granite and the decorative brick-like details. However, it's all a clever imitation. They intended to build a stone church but lacked the necessary technology, so they constructed a wooden building designed to look like stone. The cathedral's construction incorporated innovative building techniques never before used in the Zhetesu region. Importantly, it was the first tall structure built in a seismic area. The cathedral was built during a challenging period, the 1905 revolution. Nevertheless, the Russian Empire was experiencing economic growth and had strong international trade links. For instance, the wood preservatives were imported from Austria-Hungary, and the tiles you see here came from Germany. The cathedral was constructed using the finest and most advanced materials and technologies available at the beginning of the 20th century. This building is a true masterpiece of architecture. There are many intriguing stories about its construction, especially the popular belief that it was built entirely of wood without using a single nail, which fascinates many. That's actually a myth. Our tour guides often tell visitors that the cathedral was constructed without any nails. In a way, that's correct, but it's also misleading. Consider traditional wooden houses. People say they were built without nails, and that's accepted without question. Why would nails be necessary? When the timber beams measure 24 by 36 centimeters, nails don't significantly affect the structure's strength. In the cathedral, nails aren't used. Instead, staples, bolts, pins, metal straps and hooks hold everything together. From a structural standpoint, the cathedral truly has no nails. Not because it's extraordinary, but because nails aren't the primary fasteners in such massive wooden constructions. Each column in Voznesensk Cathedral is more than just decoration. It's a precisely engineered component that provides seismic stability. Andrei Zinkov designed the columns based on bridge building principles, linking them into a unified system. Each column is connected not only at the top, but also beneath the floor, with special wooden beams called Gerber joints. This design increases the building's dynamic stability, allowing its parts to move in sync during an earthquake. Now we are standing in the bell tower. You can clearly see Zinkov's innovative design here. Notice the bolts, nuts and special grooves. This system allows the building to move freely and absorb shocks, which is essential for its longevity. In 1911, the cathedral faced a major test when a powerful earthquake struck, but thanks to Andrei Zinkov's smart engineering, the building stood strong. In January 1911, the Kemin earthquake shook all of Central Asia and left the city in ruins once again. Zinkov lived nearby, and despite the freezing cold, he ran outside in just a thin short to check on the cathedral. When he reached the park, he saw it still standing, which was a huge relief. People nearby saw the bell tower sway and bend like a fir tree in the wind.
Стоит или не стоит, и он увидел, что собор стоит, и очевидцы говорят, что колокольня гнулась и болталась, как елка.
After 1917, a lot changed in Verny. The Soviet government pushed atheism and tried to change how people thought. The church, once highly respected, suddenly became seen as a symbol of ignorance and superstition.
Наступил кровавый 17-й год.
The year 1917 was tragic,
Собора, революционные времена.
and there wasn't much attention left for the cathedral. After the October Revolution, the church came under government control. Then in October 1929, a decree signed by one of Kazakhstan's harshest leaders, Goloshokin, who was responsible for famine and the repression of intellectuals, ordered the cathedral to close, along with the Almaty mosque.
Уничтожал интеллигенцию. Этот человек подписал указ о закрытии собора.
Once closed, the cathedral's bells were taken down. Its beautiful gilded iconostasis, valuable library, and all church items disappeared without a trace. In the 1930s, the city turned the cathedral into a radio station, and later it became the Republican Local History Museum. This meant the building needed major repairs, and Zinkov was called back. While turning it into a museum, he carefully preserved the main structure, protecting mosaics and ceiling paintings by covering them with special coatings.
К концу 60-х, начало 70-х.
By the late 1960s and early 1970s, the building was in bad shape.
Замечательный руководитель Казахстана.
The cathedral was saved thanks to Dinmuhamed Kunaev, a well-known Kazakh leader. He convinced Brezhnev and the USSR Ministry of Culture to provide funds for restoration. A young and talented architect, Aben Itenov, took on the project and did an excellent job. I started the restoration in 1972. Since the building was still a museum, we could only work on weekends. It took us 3 years to finish. During the 1970s, the cathedral's religious identity was overshadowed by Soviet symbols. The domes were decorated with red stars, sickles and hammers, and portraits of Lenin and Stalin, a state that lasted until the early 1980s.
Aben
Itenov worked hard to bring the cathedral back to its original look. He removed all the Soviet symbols inside, which was quite brave given the political situation back then. The restoration team revived the building's colors inside and out. After years hidden under green paint, the dome's bright colors and the warm tones of the facade were restored.
Самое главное, что они сделали в 70-е годы, здание находилось...
In the 1970s, Itenov's biggest achievement was saving the building from falling apart, especially fixing the roof. The original chandeliers from 1907 were stolen and no records were found, so Itenov ordered new chandeliers that matched the building's style, which were made in Moscow. In 1995, the building was returned to the church. Repairs were done between 1995 and 1999, but limited funds meant not everything could be restored. It wasn't until 2017 that the cathedral had its first full restoration in its 117-year history. The Ascension Cathedral is a priceless piece of heritage that has survived natural disasters and historical upheavals.